All right, so step one in our process is we are going to, in pen, write your name on the side of your rubber. So just right along the edge there, right on the side. Okay. And the second thing I'm going to do is I am going to take my tracing paper, put it on the bottom, put my printing block on top, and in pencil, I am just going to trace my carving block. This will help me size my image to the block. So as I'm using my tracing packet to figure out what images I want to create, what image I want to create, I know what size I have to work with, okay? So this is what I have, right? So I've got my tracing paper. And at this point in time, what you're going to do is use the block printing tracing packet. Okay, so it kind of looks a little bit like this right here. And what you can do is flip through and decide what you want your main image to be, okay? So each student will have a main image and a background. A background could be a landscape, it could be a design, okay? So any of these things would work. And so you're going to think about it, what you want your main image to be and then what you want your background to be, okay? So either scene or design, all right? So I'm gonna flip through and find something that I want to trace or transfer, okay? Now at this point in time, just for simplicity, I'm gonna choose maybe, I got a toucan here, right? So I am going to choose this one, okay? Now I am going to say, just to start right off the bat, that a lot of these clip art images are not gonna fit your entire block. That is more than fine, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind as you're creating your image, all right? A lot of times images are actually more interesting that way if you have a partial of something. So don't expect to necessarily fit all of yours on there, although if I want to carve something smaller, I can totally fit my entire toucan on here, okay? So I'm going to just trace the head of this guy like so, right? And I'm gonna take my time using a pencil and trace this, okay? So I'm gonna take time, make sure I trace all my detail lines. I'm going a little bit fast for my liking here. I just want you to get the main idea of what it is we're doing. If you need a little piece of tape to hold this down, that's more than fine. Please do not write anything in my packet because we're going to reuse these for years to come. Okay. All right, so this is what I have. Oh, I forgot to do this little foot. There we go. Okay, got to get the foot going here. Okay, I think that's a little bit better now. All right, so this is what I have. And I'm now going to choose a background image, okay? So I've got my toucan. He doesn't fit all the way on, and that's totally fine. I'm gonna look for maybe some plants to put in the background here. Again, I could do my own image. I could do a design, whatever. I think I'm gonna actually use some of these plants for the background. So I'm kind of digging this one here. Right. And so with this part, I know that I want this to go in the background, okay? And because this plant here is in the background, that means the toucan is in front of it, okay? So I'm gonna make sure that I trace just the lines that I need to show that the toucan is overlapping or in front of this really cool leaf. Okay, so note I'm not tracing this part here. Not tracing this part here that goes into the toucan because this leaf is behind him. And again, I would spend more time on this, okay, than I am. I just wanted to give you an idea of what you can do. do the main line of my leaf here. Okay. This is going behind, this is going behind. So we don't want any X-ray shapes. Okay, so X-ray shapes are when you have something like this, okay, that overlaps it, but you haven't erased this line. We don't want that because the leaf is behind the toucan. Okay, so just make sure you watch out for that. Okay, I'm actually going to do one more little part in the background here. In fact, maybe I have part of this leaf in here. That could be kind of cool. Let me zoom you guys out real quick. Okay. Maybe I'll include part of this that's coming from here across that top area just for interest. So I'll trace that really quickly. It's kind of like he's in the bushes, in the jungle. Okay, I think that's pretty good. All right, so I'll share with you what I have. Okay, I'm actually gonna put this on, I'm gonna flip my packet over onto the back and just use this so that you can kind of see what the main image is. So once you have your tracing done, you can look at it on the back of your packet just to see what it actually looks like, okay? Now, in just a second, what I'm going to do is any lines that may have been a little bit light, I'm gonna go over them one more time in pencil. Okay. And then I will be ready to put this on my carving block.